All right. Earlier on, we were indeed trying to get reaction from Soweto. We unfortunately lost that signal. Let's try again. Let's go to Vilakazi Street in Soweto, where Desmond Tutu and his family moved in 1975. Vilakazi Street is said to be the only street in the world where two Nobel Laureates have lived. Vilakazi Street was also once home to Madiba during the time that Tutu lived there. He became a Nobel Laureate for his struggles against apartheid, and he led the Truth and Reconciliation Commission for President Nelson Mandela. Our reporter Hasina Gori is in Soweto for us. A very good afternoon to you, Hasina. Let's talk about what's happening in Soweto right now. I mean, just before we lost that signal with you, talking to us about, the rich history, the fact that, Sowetans are very passionate and really expressive about their feelings. Talk to us about what's being said.
Good afternoon. Yes, Flo, as we were speaking earlier, quite a bustling afternoon here in Vilakazi Street. Well, many had come out just to celebrate. Many here remembering the Archbishop Desmond Tutu quite fondly, remembering his contribution to the struggle, as well as his deep love for people. We're speaking outside his home, where we were standing a little while ago, where a small memorial has been set up, and we hope to speak with one of the women who was part of that, small floral bouquet that is slowly growing. But before I go into that more, I want to bring in the imam who we're speaking to a bit earlier. Monica, you were talking to us just a little while ago, telling us about your feelings when you heard the news of the Archbishop passing on today.
Kubuhlungu kakhulu sisi ukushonelwa ubishop and thina singama-church omzivubu diocese in Kokstad silahlekelwe kakhulu. Wayenenhliziyo enhle esithanda ibandla lakhe, silahlekelwe kakhulu ngasho kanjalo sisi. Yes.
What of his legacy will you remember, and what will you take, from both him as a humanitarian but also a church person? What would you remember him as?
Uthando lwakhe wayenothando kakhulu baba, wayenenhlonipho, wayesilwela kwinkululeko. Izona izinto engamkhumbula ngazo.
Thank you so much. That was Monica speaking to us here on the streets of Vilakazi, expressing the pain she felt when she heard of the passing of Desmond Tutu this morning, saying that as a churchgoer as well, she remembers him fondly, and he had a great impact on her as well. I want to bring in a few more people that have been here, this afternoon, waiting, to speak to us. A lot of them, just seeing us here and wanting to express their feelings. Can you tell us, how would you remember Archbishop Desmond Tutu?
Archbishop Desmond Tutu is our father to me. He taught us good things, how to behave. We grew under him. He always preached good gospel. He's a very good man. So when I heard the news this morning that he's no longer, I couldn't hold my tears. I cried because I knew what kind of a man he was. As an Anglican man, I say he get sick for a long time. May his soul rest in peace. It's an old man. Thank you. Yes.
Did you come out specifically today to pay your respects here, or did you just come out, to socialize today?
No, I just come out to socialize. So I've got an opportunity to say I must come and pay my last respect to the old man that it happens. So I thank you.
Thank you so much. Hearing from yet another person here in Soweto, telling us about that impact that Tutu had on him, and saying that when he heard that news, he couldn't hold back his tears. I'm going to try getting a few more people to speak to us and just share their sentiments, of how they're feeling today. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Can you tell me, what was your reaction this morning when you heard that news?
Yeah, I felt very bad because I know Bishop Tutu as my bishop. I'm from the Anglican Church. I've known him for quite a long time, and I remember when I was still at high school, there is a book that he wrote, which is Hope and Suffering. That was the first book that I read, which was written by Bishop Tutu. It's very bad. I know Bishop Tutu as an enemy to those who did not want the truth. So he always stood for the truth, and he was hated by those people who did not want the truth. And I'm sure that when Bishop Tutu is, what is going to make Bishop Tutu rest in peace is for him to see all those people who were victims of apartheid getting reparated, because he was the chairperson of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Nothing has happened so far. But what is going to make Bishop Tutu rest in his grave peacefully is to see those people who are victims of apartheid getting reparated, and those people who were perpetrators of violence during apartheid getting arrested.
What of his legacy will you take in your own life, as in remembrance of him?
With me, it's very easy because, as I said, I'm Anglican. So he's like a father to me. He's like a father to the Anglican community, and I think the whole world is sad that the old man has passed on. Though he was 90, but it's still not good for him to pass this.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, speaking to the gentleman here, telling us how he was impacted, quite extensively by Tutu, saying that as an Anglican man, one of the first books he remembers reading in high school was one written by Tutu. We are just meters away from his home. I'm going to ask camera person Mashudu to give you a shot of the house. There is a car parked which is blocking, but behind that is the home, with the placard. We know that Tutu had lived here for quite a while from 1975 after moving from the gold mining town of Klerksdorp. It is just meters away from the home of Nelson Mandela. We heard from the Nelson Mandela Foundation earlier today speaking on, the memories they have of both, the friendship between Desmond Tutu as well as former President Nelson Mandela. This is a home where Tutu spent and celebrated his 50th wedding anniversary, and you remember that on his 60th wedding anniversary he renewed his vows also at a church here in Soweto. So this place rich in history and quite impactful both to Tutu but also to the people that live in the street. And while many are out here socializing, many have stopped to pay their condolences and to give respects to Desmond Tutu. And that's it for me for now. Back to you in studio.